Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gaming Toucan here. Welcome to episode 32, of Let's Play Europa Universalis series as Florence, well now Italy, with the aim of recreating the Roman Empire and doing Mare Nostrum achievement. In the last jolly episode, we've begun another war. We finished our war with Tunisia, first and foremost, because we weren't capable of taking the entirety of enemy coast, as their provinces are quite expensive. So we are taking it step by step, a little slower, but effectively nonetheless. Now, with that being said, we began our war with the Ottomans, as the Ottomans were a little bit weakened after conflict with France and Poland. Yes, and as you can see, we are in war with on Muscovy's side against Lithuania, Pomerania, etc. So that's just a detail. As you can see, our armies are actually bigger than Ottomans, which is a huge deal. We're going to finish, mop up this combat and get back to southern France, which is the most important one. Right now we're going to Bosphorus in order to cut the Ottomans off between Balkans and Anatolia. And also we have the brunt of our forces in Egypt, right now moving towards Alexandria and Cairo, which are our destinations actually. We aim to take the entirety of this area for ourselves. Now this hurt, kill-wise in war against us as well, which we didn't anticipate, but nonetheless we will. Of course, deal with that. Now, this is Arabian Sea, and I think we actually have to go for Western Indian Ocean to block Kilwa's ports and make them suffer for their mistake. So, yeah, right now our fleet is moving magnificently towards Bosphorus, the enemy is going towards Aegean, and should we take a fight with them? I think there's no real point in doing that. The enemy is cut in half, let's be honest, and establishing a foothold on the other side of Anatolia right now is tempting, but ultimately unnecessary. We can send 2,000 troops here and get them anyway, because our ships will block the passage, and right now they are going to die. Just like that. So yeah, there you go. Why are you fighting, sir? You have, well, you killed 2 ships, so that's impressive, I suppose. And yeah, just go and finish these pirates off. The good part is we can continue our war with Tunisia and continue taking their coastline. Our tolerance for piracy in our coastline is non-existent. So there you go, we'll deal with them. Fittingly. Yes, so Tunisians are losing their navy, which is a welcome sight. We'll have to deal with that eventually, but we're waiting for our 30 galleys to join the fray and help with this problem. Now, this army is, as you can see, stack-wiped. It does give testament to our force efficiency when you can stack wipe the Ottomans, the boogeyman for the majority of the game. Okay, so we are occupying Marrakesh, we are scaring some enemy units, getting more galleys up and running, and dealing with that villainous siege, because let's be honest, right now that's the only thing that's, we've lost this big Tunisian army, navy is waddling about, and we'll have to deal with them eventually. And coalition is appearing again against us. This is at the moment very weak, but who knows what will happen soon, especially if we manage to beat Ottomans convincingly. Now, this is most fortunate news. It should put Lithuanians out of this conflict, and since it's war with Lithuania, I suppose the Muscovites will want to finish this ASAP. Well, this could be tempting, but right now we're not going to go to war with Milan. We're busy with the Ottomans and coastlines. And excuse me, and could you get the hell away from there, because you might actually die. And that, my friend, would be a catastrophe. Right now we've lost 6 ships protecting our coast from pirates. So, a bump in the road, I assure you we'll deal with that over time. So how are things looking down south? Okay, so we have a coalition now, the Milanese, and this is as expected. I believe we'll have to reinforce Cairo and deal with this Ottoman menace. Though this is our land, so we fight. Yeah, well, I think we should win this rather decisively with these reinforcements. We'll see. Our superior plan will probably give us easy victory, so to speak, over the Ottomans. I find it hard to believe that they would be able to get involved in any meaningful fashion right now. And since we're at the subject, we were actually going to create, excuse me, a little additional army, the 5th army that is going to be formed in Italy. And this army is going to be composed, I think that's about 17, 18 infantry regiments. Is that a little too much? Perhaps it is, ladies and gentlemen. You are wise to do so. So 12 infantry regiments, a few more. Let's get to 15. Let's get 10 cannons. These templates are useful. I've never actually gotten quite confident with using templates, but I suppose this is silly of me not to do so, but we'll see. So now templates, we have cannons in production, as well as excuse me, cannons and infantry. So after that we'll have a discussion, talking about, not discussion, some additional cavalry, just a few units, and we'll deal with our enemy via the use of artillery, infantry and massed firepower. Cavalry is just a sweet addition, but not the key one. Okay, as you can see, this army has a little too much artillery at this point, I think. What is our battle with? No, this 6, what is it actually? I can't see that right now. Morale, force limit, navy, combat with. So, no, it's actually fine. We are almost full line of artillery. And the enemy has dealt us more casualties than we have dealt to him. Well, that hurts. Those offensive wars are always expensive. Well, at least they are if you don't have offensive ideas, and we do specialize in defense first and foremost. So that's that. Let's give it to Muscovy in hopes that they will end this ridiculous conflict sooner rather than later. Yes, let's see. Lithuanians are moving along with the Polish towards south. We don't want to fight them right now. This is not in our best interest. And this is also not in our best interest, but what can you do sometimes, right? You are helpless to stop our enemies, and you just need to suck it, I suppose. Oh, it's horrible, but, well, what can you do, right? I suppose a few more cavalry regiments, as well as 2 cannons and some mercenary infantry, will be a useful addition to this army. We're going at some siege right now, yes, but which was it? There's certainly, this is what happens when you click too fast. You just kind of phase out and miss on important events that happen all the time. Now this should be easy. We should swim there safely, and I don't think the Tunisians can actually challenge a 29 galley army. That is beyond their capacity right now. And good riddance. Of course, be my guest, dear Holy Roman Empire states. Just waddle around as much as you like, and I'll certainly not interfere in your little conflicts, which I believe are most certainly crucially important to your war efforts and all little initiatives taken. It sucks, but yeah, I really don't like inflation. We need to deal with that. And we need power, so no more war taxes. I personally am a great fan of the use of war taxes for my own goals. They are very useful as a tool. And I cannot understate it enough. It's a great thing to have all those beautiful Canada, all those beautiful cannons and siege. I'm rambling a little bit, excuse me. It's kind of late, and I think that it shows that I'm just a tiny little bit rambling due to being tired, but of course we won't let that stop us and not make it with our continuous offensive in Europa Universalis. We want to become that Roman Empire, right? Right. So let's go to El Karak straight away, a powerful fortress, one that will take some time to siege, and as you can see, we need to get southwards eventually and deal with those pesky Kilwani and Hormuzi enemies. All in due time, I suppose. As soon as we manage to make the Ottomans fall, everything else will follow very comfortably. Also, we like this stupid war to end, and hope that AI will decide not to waste any more of our resources. Now, excuse me, where are you going, sir? Because I really don't want to fight the Polish and the Ottoman at the same time. I think I helped the Russians enough in this conflict, and that I could just piece the hell out safely. Let's see, they trust us enough, I think. 80 trust is something you can't just ignore, and right now it's more of a nuisance rather than a real problem. That Ottoman presence, but of course we... this is good. I hope they continue marching southwards towards Yemen, because if they decide to attack El Karak, it could get bloody indeed, especially with high forward defense skill. And Mr. Sforza, while a capable sieger, will cause us to take tremendous casualties, so that's that. And yes, good. Protecting trade route and blocking enemy ports in Mediterranean goods. So excellent. Kill some Ottomans, please, and well, we could march this way. Now, that would mean an intervention in Anatolia, but right now there's really no need to do that. We control this theatre of conflict convincingly, and that does mean a lot. Additional several cannons won't hurt, and we'll have to start thinking about cavalry indeed. So as far as I'm concerned, there aren't many provinces left which we could take here, so let's move towards Bulgaria and continue our carpet sieging right there, with the hope of taking this sooner rather than later. Most fortunate, Ottoman presence moving towards my southern flank is unwelcome. What is the war score on Russia? Well, you do control any province which you want, but how expensive are you going to make this war? Because I really don't want to pay the iron price, so to speak. Let's go to... I really don't want to go there. I want to get to southern flank, to Bucharest, and deal with the Ottomans. The Polish are of no concern of mine. They have proven themselves to be annoying, yes, but that is not an argument to go on around and kill them, and a big sacrifice in military points, but we really don't want this castle to fall into enemy hands, so to speak. But let's continue. I think we should start controlling this trade far better. And about time we take a niche. It's time to go to Timișoara, clearly Hungarian name. Right, and deal with that. This army must unify slowly but steadily. We are still losing war exhaustion rather than gaining it, so bless you for that. And yes, this front is starting to look rather glim, especially that our enemies are apt to tech. So it means that the Kievanese will not be a cakewalk. They will actually put up a reasonable fight. And with the ever-present threat of a coalition, we need to be more than ready to expect the unexpected, however naive that might be in terms of how it sounds. So yeah, enemy is moving towards my Crimean possessions, and should he decide to attack, I think this will be a tremendously bloody battle to which we need to get ready. In any case, let's just retreat to safety to our main troops, and we are losing manpower tremendously, which is not good. We need to conserve it a little wiser. Otherwise, excuse me, we might suffer considerably. Okay, let's unite these navies. They will be most useful to us. And yes, Siege of Timișoara has gone fast, at least this one, as what I would expect of my enemies, and that relieves us with 37,000 troops being a little more available than before. So I suppose bless you is in order, and we should be able to move towards... let's just wait a little bit. We don't want to fight a 49th... Oh, perhaps we do want to fight that Ottoman army. But we certainly don't want to fight our Polish, and that will require us to deal with them soon. I suppose this flank is looking grim, and Tunisians are making their way here. Moroccans are on our side, which is nice. I suppose actually there is no reason not to call the Swedes, as the battle is looking more and more difficult actually. I suppose Swedish interference can help us turn the tide, and if they actually decide to move the troops, deal the enemy a tremendous blow now. Oh my god, an enormous battle is coming right here, and that will be costly troop-wise. And inevitable at this point. I suppose we can't really avoid having these armies clash at Burkesh, unless I take it. And ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest, I think there is not a chance in the world that we are going to take Bucharest for ourselves right now. Perhaps recruiting this minister will be useful. Nobility loyalty is great for a conflict. Manpower recovery speed in particular is valuable. And let's hope they prove themselves useful time and time again. And yes, please unite. Oh, well, I must say that Bremeni intervention in our newest fort is quite amusing. But that's just not enough to simply let them have their fun. Okay, so siege is done, and we could actually deal with these Ottoman interlopers. And how much attrition damage did we take? We take 15,000 troops already in attrition and manpower. That's like 1/3 of this conflict. Is that actually viable to take the Preparation Act? Now, that's a good question. And I believe that actually it is. It costs military, yes, it's painful to say the least. especially considering the fact that I don't have a +3 advisor right now. Because I want discipline and to have better combat statistics. I have to take it into account, and this sucks. The fact that we did not finish the fort in Mokka sucks as well, but what can you do? All a matter of time. And time is on our side since we are beating Ottomans out of their own turf, and that will hurt them considerably more than it will hurt us. And we could do that, finish sieging Balkans, and use the fact that enemy is suffering tremendous attrition damage to our side. So, control of the Aegean Sea and Bosphorus means that these troops are basically trapped and that their fate is sealed. Now you're going to move here, and you're going to move to Silistre and Polish. Why are you still fighting? For hell's sake, Russia? Don't you have your objective completed? Why would you risk it all? For no other reason than pointless battle. Bloodlust, excuse me. Okay, and this is most fortuitous. Taking over Al-Karak is very important, as it's a powerful fort that will allow us to secure this flank from Arabian Peninsula. And now should we decide to move forward towards Arabia and cross this land passage, we could do that. Arabia is actually quite an attractive target for us right now, though perhaps it's high time to meet the Triple I in combat, Tunisians. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to move our forces towards Tunisians. They have no artillery, which means that the troops are basically sitting ducks. With that being said, it's time to cross the Bosphorus Strait and attack our enemy and meet them head on the way they deserve, right? Right. Now, this is looking fine, thank you. Perhaps a unit over there will work most diligently on our side. And this is a good choice. Rival change, fort maintenance would be nice. Autonomy change. Harsh treatment, administrative efficiency. It's not long until Age of Absolutism ends, actually. We could get admin efficiency at this point. 5 different promoted cultures. Well, let's get the third objective and see what can we do from there. Now we're going to tolerate Turkish culture for sure. Same goes for... what culture is it? Occitan, yes. Could you show me, please, what is the range of Occitan culture? And I'm satisfied with that. I'm definitely putting Occitan in our tolerated culture. We don't want Gascon. Castilian seems really good, and I think I'm tolerating Castilians already. No Catalans, but whatever. And Italy, is all under our sway, so that's not even needed to be tolerated. And we're certainly not going to waste anything on these guys. They are useless as they are. Excuse me, do we have I have Castilian, excuse me, I did not see it for a moment, and Lyonnaise, oh, that's Burgundian. Francian would be awesome to have as tolerated. These people are not that valuable. Greek is Greek is completely useless, let's be honest. Crime, no. Well, tolerate. Don't really need to tolerate Crimea. We'd like to do that, but right now it's not really worth it. Admin efficiency or absolutism. This is a difficult choice. This will give us money. And we do need money, and we do need forts, especially on borders with our rivals. I hate such difficult choices. All of these are so tempting. Protecting forts. Admin efficiency. Actually, I'm going for admin efficiency. Don't judge me too harshly. I think this is one of available and reasonable choices now. Let's crush Ottomans with... Oh my, this will be glorious. Yes, please, beautiful. This is exactly the kind of casualty rates we want to see in battles on our side. Looking good, I suppose. And yes, this is fine. 50,000 Ottomans walking, just waddling about, minding their own business is not fine, but let's try to ignore them and not notice the fact that we are indeed in grave danger right there. You gentlemen can move to bigger. I think this is not a problem. We could use an army right here to siege those Greek lands, but yes, I think this will bite me in the ass if I don't do that. So with all my intent, I'll have to siege Corfu, and I don't really know how is it called even in Greek, because the Ottomans have taken it and changed its name. Bastards as they are. So the enemy is flowing right through the coast of Red Sea and then Gulf of Suez. Not for long, preferably not for long. So yeah, this was inevitable. Siege of Podole has finally ended. Dera is ours. Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. And let's hope our enemy is going to suffer even more attrition damage than we do. Good. Make it continue like that, and we'll be more than content. The battle is going to... I think they're actually... okay, good. Battle. Let's hope that the Tunisians get annihilated. What do they have with all those Turkish names instead of Tunisian? So, yeah, this isn't even a challenge right now. The Tunisians can't really stand against us. Oh, we have excellent stack wipe. I do love a good stack wipe. And I have to be honest, stack wipes really make me feel alive and healthier, so to speak. Now, you, ladies and gentlemen, should move towards Gulf Varna and deal with that Ottoman ship right there. Please die. That is what should happen right now, right? We'll see. Any moment now. So let's move right there and assign the leader of our republic to lead this army. And a beautiful stack wipe. So much artillery wasted. I'm sure the Ottomans are reeling from this tragic defeat just as the Tunisians were. Well, just as soon as we take Ma'an, I think we will... we can send one regiment and see what happens. The point is that Syria, modern Syria and Levant are taken by us. And that's good. And we'll see what happens next with that in mind. Now, please move here, get out of the Polish way. And Russia, why are you still fighting? Can you possibly explain it to me, especially since Lithuanians are taking over Vilnius, the little gift I gave you, so that you can move to better, more exciting things in life. But no, you just waste the gift on a pointless battle now. The Polish. I don't want to fight the Polish. There's a lot of them. And they are not an attractive target. Really. Oh well. Live and learn, and... Russians are so stupid as allies. But what can you expect, really? Frankly, can't tell. Let's wait and get to Ergiboz coalition ship, please. You can't, so go to Yanya, no problem. So the Ottomans are coming. Run for your lives and get behind the fort in El Karak. This will be retaken, of course. I don't think we can stay here and just let the enemy cut our forces in twain. Of course, we have the luxury of being able to very convincingly transport our troops around Mediterranean, so fort access is not a problem. And when it comes to Red Sea and Suez, we are in control there as well. But that doesn't change the fact that we should respect our enemy on land and take that into account. And this is nice. Enemy involvement in this part of the battle is over. Now, I wonder what the Russians are even remotely trying to do. Though perhaps it is pointless to try and fathom their motives, actions, and goals. We'll see. We are not interested in Russians. Please, oh, you're going to die. You could go here. The enemy has numbers on their side, and they do have a rather decently formed army. So I think we'll need to take everything on our side and kick this Ottoman legion. El Karak is going to be sieged. Well, I wish you good luck, and I think that actually you won't be able to do it, because, let's be honest, a level 4 fort is something which will take you a while, especially since I am specialized in defending myself against superior enemy onslaught. These numbers do make quite the impression, considering the fact we had a coalition war which seemed humongous, and we lost like what were the casualties again? We lost like 300,000 people during the entire conflict. It does put things into perspective, now that I think about it. Oh, this is tempting, but never mind. There are more important things in life. Yes, really. Well, we could continue doing some good investments. This fort could use an upgrade, actually, and let's do it immediately. We don't want to fight this guy. He knows how to shock. We're just a little worse than him at that. Oh well, we'll see. Yanya is ours. Triumph to the army. Well, let's just wait for this to finish, and so we can use our combined forces to crush our enemy. The important part is we don't really need to risk anything in those conflicts. If you can fight the enemy with superior troops, troop number, excuse me, and superior positioning, there is really no point in not doing so. The game doesn't award you extra points or credit for being tough. It actively promotes being clever, and that's not the same. Alright, I like the fact that this fort is still holding, and the fact that the Polish are getting Bessarabia out of our claws is not good at all. And these guys should die. I'm taking a little more casualties than I should because of the insufficient support modifier. But oh well, it's not the best proportion, really. I kinda ruined it for myself here. I suppose El Karak is as good a position to hold as any, and it's time to move to south and get back our forts and finish Mokka. Our naval superiority will prove very important in this line of conflict. Now, how much troops do we need to actually siege Corfu is the question. Is there any reason why you can't go there? Is this fort? Land both blocked by hostile fort. Are you kidding me? Well, quite amusing, really. Amusing. Actually, ludicrous to say the least. But let's continue our little trip along the coastline. Always fun to go there. Always fun to have some adventures. And if you could finish that, please, and make use of our troops. Our massive numbers, which we are now going to move into a safe spot, because we honestly don't know what the enemy might try to do with this. We'll see. And yeah, the enemy has won this siege, and let's try to retake it instantaneously. Perhaps it will work, perhaps not. Either way, we'll try our best. And now a quick strike into Egypt will push the Kilwanese back. We can always reinforce this fort via navy, naval superiority and transport of troops. So Suez is really on our side right now. And this is crucial. We are moving against the majority of enemy forces in Anatolia. Taking Itzel will allow us to and Marash will allow us to unite Egyptian and Anatolian front by land, and that is no small feat, which we intend to achieve right now. Of course, all in due time. Then we'll be able to deal with Tunisians on Tunisian front. And let's reinforce this navy, for the Ottomans are numerous and we can't allow enemy to gain naval superiority even for an instant. This is completely against any of our goals. Now, it's a lot of obsolete ships actually, and repairing them could actually be useful. And a stack wipe, excellent. A stack wipe, and we continue to march. Excuse me. Of course, we're taking extra trade efficiency. Just compare income discrepancy. The fact that the enemy can just waddle through this position is bizarre. Sometimes forward behavior is confusing in this game to me. And these troops will wait until our forces reach this position, and we'll see what happens next. Right now, actually we're going to take Huda Vendigar just for the lulz, I suppose you could say. Okay, this is good. This is good. And now let's strike back at the Ottomans and deal with the problem we're facing over there. And the Polish have taken Bessarabia. The Russians are losing this war tremendously. I don't know what the train of thought was, but I suppose we'll never know. Such is Russian intellect and such is a Russian strategic mind. I think El Karak needs a visit from our Egyptian army, and Tunisians will need to wait just a little longer. Well, let's just wait. I think we can. Just leave 1,000 troops and move here. We'll deal with this army and dispatch Ottomans to hell. What is the army strength is actually a good question. War enemies. So they have the manpower to continue this fight. I don't. But I have greater force limits, surprisingly, right? But yeah, such is the case. The Polish can fight, the Lithuanians can fight, so these guys will be out. Kill is not a factor. Hormuz has practically nothing. Tunisia is a walk in the park. Yeah, we don't really have to care about the Polish, and that is good. Yes, please leave the conflict. This is good. Thank you, Morocco. Thank you for contributing to this effort. Interesting. So this is how the French, shall we say, guarantee works. Never mind, you know what I mean. The French guarantee means that the French are going to simply attack you. And they hope that they can attack you first, before anyone else. So yeah, this is fine. We are controlling Bosphorus completely right now. We could go into Eastern Black Sea, or just supporting Gulf of Varna, and I think that's what we're going to do. Looking nice. Please do continue your march south and see what happens next. Italy occupies Saruhan. I have no idea where that is. At this point, I just let it slide, I suppose. Let it go, right? I'm still tempted to do some investment in Theodoro, but this trade note is not